Let's clear up politics. The new polls show that half of Democrats believe Biden should drop out. What does that mean? Oh my goodness. In a recent CBS News poll, 55% of registered voters expressed doubts about 81-year-old President Joe Biden's mental and cognitive health. This concern surged to 72%. I'm surprised it didn't jump an even more percentage than that, honestly, following CNN's debate, where Biden appeared to struggle with coherence, losing his train of thought, and providing incoherent responses. It didn't seem like it was about his stuttering this time. Only 18% of voters felt Biden inspired confidence during the debate, compared to 44% who thought former President Donald Trump did. No, I can't believe I almost forgot that word. That's an important word. Notably, nearly half of the voters now believe Biden should not be running for office, a 10% increase since February, with 45% of registered Democrats thinking he should just step aside. Trump, though, faring better in the debate, also faced skepticism about his mental fitness. Only 50% of voters polled considered the 78-year-old former president fit to serve. Despite recognizing that much of Trump's debate content consisted of falsehoods, voters rated his performance higher than Biden's, citing better clarity and better confidence. The debate aftermath saw calls for Biden to step down from funders and liberal media outlets, including editorial boards of the New York Times and the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Oh, we got ourselves in a mess. And didn't someone say at the table earlier that there was someone that spoke out about this just today?
Yeah, it was Congressman Doggett. I think it's how you pronounce his name. He called for him to step aside.
Well, obviously, we've heard the opposite from several important voices. Lots of people have decided to stay silent that certainly we probably would like to hear from and hear their opinions. And what's important is how many Democrats now have lost faith.
Yeah, what's really at stake is do you want a democracy or not? Like, you may not think...
It is at stake, you're right.
Biden, you may not think Biden is the sharpest knife in the drawer, the brightest bulb in the refrigerator. I can keep going on with these horrible analogies, but...
Sharpest tool in the shed?
Thank you, because I forgot that one. But he has surrounded himself with people that do these jobs. He has his Secretary of Defense, his Secretary of the Interior, he's got his transportation. Yeah. He's got all these people that do the job. Allegedly, because obviously I've never been in the room, he is well-spoken and in it when they're in a meeting. Can't tell if that's just media hype. And the media has not let this go since last Thursday. They're making it worse.
They're making it a lot worse.
Because he did a great presentation the following day. Go ahead, Alex.
As a former Democratic Party staffer, I've never seen a president do such a self-inflicted wound. This debate was his choice. He set the parameters for this debate. Donald Trump didn't ask for anything. I was like, that's insane. And Biden got everything he wanted. All he had to do to meet expectations was not look like he looked like he had a stroke at one point. It was terrifying to watch.
It was like watching McConnell freeze.
But the other scary thing is, yes, there are many competent people around him, but legally, the president has to be able to make certain decisions. If a national disaster happens, only the president can make certain calls. Axios reported from White House staffers that he's good from 10 to 4. Now, I want to first say that I want a 10 to 4 workday. I think the American people deserve a 10 to 4 workday. But if China were to attack Taiwan at 2 in the morning, we need a president that can deal with that. If Russia decides to invade Poland in the middle, but outside of 10 to 4, what are we going to do? The good news is there's lots of polling that shows that people that are concerned with him do find Kamala Harris to be completely acceptable as a nominee. So if Biden, and it's because that's the only person that could replace him technically.
Right. If they find
she's polling perfectly fine.
Yeah, if they find he's not competent, then they can, like they talked about with Trump at one point, is the I don't remember which group it is. You probably know
the 25th Amendment. It would be the cabinet.
The cabinet can decide that he's not fit for office, and then Kamala Harris would then step in that role. And what's interesting is they're asking the question, and I remember answering one of these polls, do you think he's competent to continue? Not really. It was like no was my answer, but would I still vote for him? Yes, because I believe in democracy, and I believe that if we give it to the other side, we won't have a conversation like this because he didn't step down when he was incompetent.
He won't care what people
and he
think.
doesn't care what people think.
And listen, this is the reality too of this conversation. Okay, the fact that Biden, an 81-year-old man, and I'll be honest, like I made a post on my social media the following day, because I was speechless after the debate, but
So was he during most of it?
But I said I'd rather vote, in all honesty, I'd rather vote for grandpa than a sociopath. And, that's really what it comes down to. But that's also wrong. You know what I mean? This duopoly that we're dealing with here in this country, and we're minimizing the voice of potential powerful leaders to also step up and take the stage and get involved in these debates. There's like a woman, I think you might know her, Marianne Williamson, okay? She's been a spiritual teacher for 50 years. She has a lot of, her first run was kind of shaky because she was a little too woo-woo for everyone. And you have to subscribe if you want to be woo-woo, But I think that she came back. She learned a lot from her first run, and she's coming back with very good ideas. It's like she's not so extreme left, not so extreme right, and she's trying to come from a place, and honestly, of love and healing. And it sounds woo-woo to even think that this world, as far gone as we are, can find some common decency, some human decency again. I honestly think that in order to find that, we need to find a leader that can speak, who also comes from the heart and is smart, and someone who really cares about bringing us back together.
But you would go ahead. No, Alex.
Well, this is why, if he chooses to bow out and make Kamala the nominee, it would be actually very helpful for the nation. Because one, he is polling behind Donald Trump at the moment. So he's not currently winning. That is very horrifying to think about. But the thing is, because the Democrats have dismissed the media in a way that one Democratic donor said found rather Trumpian to dismiss the media now needs to prove it's legitimate. So they're going to look at everything he does to prove again and again every time because the Democrats are provoking the media at that point.
Well, some of the media is doing a daily poll about a different politician and whether or not he could beat Trump or she could beat Trump. Somebody different every day.
Well, and listen, we really shouldn't even have this conversation because he's a felon, okay? And if a felon can't come and get a job, all right, if you can't go and find yourself housing.
The felons can't even vote in Florida.
You can't even vote in Florida. But I guess in this world that we're living in now, you're immune and you can hold the highest office in the land. So I'm confused. I'm really confused.
And we're going to move on, but the bottom line is that if we don't elect the Democratic Party, forget who the leader is, we won't have an opportunity in 4 years to stabilize everything. We won't be able to find a good one. Because if Trump steps in, he's not stepping out. And the things he's already planning to do, Project 2025, the women's rights, he's going to potentially get 2 to 3 more judges on the Supreme Court, and that whole not letting Obama select somebody is why we're in this mess.
Yeah.
But yet Trump was able to at the last minute appoint somebody. And it was like the hypocrisy in the whole thing. So anyway, that's exhausting.
Sometimes I feel like our political system and many others around the world, but not all of them, are, I remember the phrase we've used about banks in this country, is it too big to fail? Is it too old to fail? And it's frustrating to think that maybe sometimes things are too big to fail. I thought for sure Donald Trump's presidency was going to rip our political system apart. We were going to get a little bit of breath of fresh air under people's seats a little. Didn't happen. Not at all.
Made it worse.